about to fall. BRB. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I decided to buy myself a brand new mountain bike, and that is a 2020 trekfuel EX5. And I kind of want to give you a little bit of a backstory. I'm pretty new to mountain biking, and as any newbie to any sport would do, I went on Facebook Marketplace and I bought myself a 2018 Cannondale Habit 6. Great bike, other than the fact that I bought it from a child that used it as a stump jumper. So as you can imagine, my axle was stripped, my rims were bent, and I just continuously had issues with that bicycle. So when I broke 4 spokes on my last ride, I decided that's it. It's time to part ways with this bicycle. It did me good for about 4 months, and I'll move on to bigger and better things. So decided to part ways with that bicycle, and of course, you'd think, well, she got burned on Facebook Marketplace once, she's not gonna do it again, but she did it again. This time I kind of familiarized myself a little bit more with bicycles. I knew a little bit more about them, and I actually knew what I was talking about. So after having learned how to bleed my brakes and do general maintenance on my last mountain bike, I found a trekfuel EX5 on Facebook Marketplace. So I have ridden this mountain bike about 3 times. I have compared the stats. I have a pretty good idea between what the main differences are between my old mountain bike and my new mountain bike. And I kind of wanted to do like an overview video of how I feel about this bicycle, what the main differences are. Is this a good entry level mountain bike for anyone who is trying to buy one? Start off with the basics. I have upgraded to a bigger wheel / tire size. This is a 29-inch tire versus the standard, I want to say it's standard, 27.5. Somebody did tell me that there's other sizes though. My other bike was a 27-inch tire. Now what does this mean? This means that any rocks or humps or obstacles that I cross, it's going to be easier to cross with this tire. I don't have to put in as much effort as I was doing before. Let's talk about the frame itself and the frame size. So the frame itself is made out of aluminum. It is not a carbon frame. If you are shopping for a bicycle, your preference should always be a carbon frame, only because it's going to be lighter. The size of the frame itself, this one is a medium. I thought I was 5'6" / 5'7", which that would be fine for someone that size. Turns out I am 5'4". So this frame is a little bit bigger for me. I'm open to trying new things, so we'll see if I like this. I'm not super attached to it just yet. Let's talk about travel. So it's got 130 millimeters of travel in the rear and 144 millimeters of travel in the front. Now what does this mean? This means that it is going to be a good or decent bike for someone who is into downhill mountain biking, and it's going to be a good transition into someone who is into XC racing. Really, the first thing that you'll notice about this bicycle is this very pretty shock right here that you have in the rear. That is manufactured by RockShox, and it is called the RockShox Recon RL 140 millimeter. I know, that's a mouthful. I'm really impressed that I remembered that. But what's cool about these mountain bikes, the trekfuel line in general, is that they all share the same frame design. So if you wanted to upgrade this air shock, it is air by the way, you are more than welcome to upgrade it whenever you want later down the road. So that's pretty neat. Just gonna turn you guys around and talk about a couple of things. One of the items I wanted to share is this cable routing. So you're going to notice that this cable routing is done all internally. This looks super clean, super nice, and it's easy to work on. We also have some adjusters right here, boost adjusters, I think that's what they're called. So you can adjust the compression up here. This is pretty standard for most mountain bikes. You can lock out your front suspension or not lock it out based on whatever terrain you are riding down. Let's talk a little bit more about the placement of this rear shock here. In previous versions of this bicycle, the rear shock was actually connected to the frame, and even though it's still connected to the frame, it's actually connected to the stem instead of this piece right here. So I think that was kind of cool. And my previous bicycle had a shock right here on the frame. It allowed for it to be a little bit more flexible, but with the shock being down here, it's just a little bit different of a feel. It's more downhill mountain bike friendly. Also gonna notice there's a minnow link right here, so that allows you to adjust this piece however you want. And of course, we also have a dropper post on this bicycle, which just allows us to push this little button right here, and it raises or lowers however you want. This was actually not on the previous year's bike, so last year 2019 bike did not have a dropper post. So it's pretty neat that they decided to add this dropper post to an entry-level mountain bike. We are able to adjust the seat as well to whatever angle we want, and I wanted to point out this is a 10-speed bicycle as well. It does have a 30-tooth ring at the front, which is pretty neat, and then we also have a Shimano Dior M600 derailleur that you guys are seeing right here. Talk a little bit about turning. So the turning radius on this bike, you're going to notice it doesn't turn all the way like most bicycles. It does stop at the halfway point. I watched a couple videos on this, and it seems like what Trek was doing here is that they were trying to make sure this did not against this piece. I'm not really entirely sure why, but that's pretty standard for all Trek fuel models. A couple items I also wanted to share with you guys is the fact that this bicycle does come with hydraulic brakes. It also does come tubeless ready, which is a nice feature for an entry-level mountain bike. Like I said before, you don't usually see entry-level mountain bikes with these specific stats. And then these tires are also one of Bottinger's top-of-the-line tires. So it's pretty nice that they put some really nice tires on there for you. I'm going to play you guys some footage from Alafaya Mountain Bike Park from the other day. Maybe you can see how I felt on the bike itself, but just the difference between this bicycle and my other bicycle, the differences are huge. She's going. Woohoo! Sorry, Cash. Not going this way? this is an entry-level mountain bike in the trekfuel line. I think it is a great bang for your buck. If you are on the hunt and you're new to mountain biking, you don't know where to start, I think this is a great place to start. Just the main differences alone between my previous Cannondale and this one, I do find that climbs are a little bit more challenging. I do find that shifting is a little bit more challenging on this bicycle, but those are things that I know I can work on and I can progress at eventually. Overall, I'm super happy that I have the 29-inch tires, and I'm also happy that I do have a bigger frame. I know that it weighs a little bit more, but for now, I think that that's fine. What are my future plans? So I do plan on racing a couple off-road races on this bicycle in December, just for fun. And I don't know, I think I'll keep it for a couple months, and then I'm sure that I'll get bored and eventually buy myself something new again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.